All right, the last section here in chapter 12 is on sinking funds, and they're a different form of an annuity, but it's really treated pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is you have a formula that you're going to use, and all you're trying to find out is how much of a payment do I need to make to reach it. So it's really almost a little bit of a different way of looking at the problem we were just looking at with present value. But basically the formula is this: the future value of the sinking fund divided by table factor. And that's going to give you your sinking fund amount. So for instance, looking at the first problem, sinking fund payment, so I know I'm going to be using this formula when I see that, is required. So what is the sinking fund payment required at the end? So that's ordinary of each 6-month period for 6% interest compounded semi-annually, so 2 times a year, to the amount of $12,000 in 4 years. So we have 4 years. So again, the interest rate was 6%, but we're going to divide it by 2 since it's 2 times a year. So that's going to be 3%. And then 4 years times twice a year equals 8, right? So we're looking at 8 periods, 3%. In this case, you're going to be using the future value chart. So we're looking at the future value chart, and it's going to be table factor 8.89234. That's going 8 periods, 3%. And because it's an ordinary annuity, we don't have to add or subtract anything from it. We just multiply that by the 12,000 that is needed in 4 years, and that's going to give us actually no, we don't need to multiply it. We just need to divide it 12,000 by that table factor, and that's going to give us our sinking fund. Sorry, I forgot I wasn't using the same formula. So if you divide those together, it comes out to $1,349.48. So that's how much they need to deposit at the end of every 6 months in order to have the amount needed here, this 12,000 in 4 years. That make sense? So that's sinking fund. And the same thing will be for this one down here. Wants to accumulate 8,000 in 5 years to a trip to Europe. If Maggie has an invest paying 12% interest compounded quarterly, so that's 4 times. How much deposit at the end of each 3-month period in the sinking fund, that's how you know what to use, is to reach your desired goal. So again, 4 times a year. Let's see. So if it's 12%, we're going to divide that by 4 because it's 4 times a year. So that comes out to 3%. And then it's going to be for how long? End of each month period, quarterly, for how many years? So say 5 years. Sorry. So 5 years times 4 equals 20. So it's going to be 20 periods at 3%. I'm going to go to the future value table. 2.687037 is the table factor, and I'm going to divide that, 2.687037 by the amount, 8,000. And it's going to give me a total of $297.73. So in order to utilize this sinking fund, she needs to deposit $297.73 every, does it say, at the end of every 3 months for a 12% interest for 5 years, and she will have, when it's all said and done, the $8,000 that she desires to have. So that's doing sinking funds. Those are fairly simple compared to the other. And I think there might be one other sheet on this. So does anybody have any questions on that? I think I might have one more. I think I might have a Sienna one on this one too. It's the blenders. Here it is. So she's going to do a sinking fund on blenders. So again, you're looking for that sinking fund question, but here, if you look at the problem, we're going to answer the first one: what equal payments must be deposited every 6 months, and then what is the amount of interest earned? So the first one is, of course, this is, let's see, it's Lenders, other equipment smoothie. It's estimated that 25,000 will be needed for the next purchase. She sets up a sinking fund. What equal payments must be deposited every 6 months at 8% annually, semi-annually, so 2 times a year. So we're going to go 8% divided by 2 equals 4%. And then it's going to be semi-annually. How many years is it on there?
Is it 3?
Do I have 3 years on there? Oh,
It says every 3 years, Sienna needs to purchase new blenders and other equipment
oh,
for
sorry,
the
I missed
smooth.
it all together. Okay, 3 years times, and it's 2 times a year, so 6 times. You guys with me? So the 3 years means twice a year she'll be compounding it. So that's 6 times at 4% because the 8% is annual, but they're doing it twice a year. So 4% each time. So that's correct. 6 times. Oh, I didn't work this out. Yeah, I did. All right. And then if you go to the table factor on the future value table chart, it'll come out to 6.63298. And because I'm finding a sinking fund, I'm just going to divide, in this case, the 25,000 by that. And that's going to give me how much she needs to put in. So $3,769.04. That's how much she needs to be depositing every, what does it say here? Every 6 months. 3,000. So again, if I want to figure out, okay, well, we already know how much she needs. She needs 25,000, a total interest, 25,000 is what she needs. And if you take this amount and you multiply it by, I didn't know it had this question on there. You multiply that by 6, because that's every year. It's going to come out to $22,614.24. And she needed 25,000 to get it. So she's going to be earning that's how much she's at. The 22,614 is actually what she's going to be paying. And so she is going to be earning $2,385.76. This, ignore this right here. This is not a divide. If I minus those two together, that comes out to this. So basically, she's going to be earning $2,385.76 in interest in that sinking fund. You guys with me? All right, so that is that. Let's see. And that's it for this chapter. All right, I'll move into chapter 14 if you guys have time for that.